streams. We're here, we're doing it again, and today we are playing some League of Legends. It is Northwood University versus the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm TubeSock. This is Cowman, our Overwatch tank, who also knows a little bit of League. And actually, kind of as we got started, they are now in the middle of the draft. We can't see anything, but Northwood is playing on on a red side, and University of Wisconsin is playing blue. So first off, Heimerdinger ban and a Caitlyn ban. Heimer's pretty good right now. I don't know if you know much, Donovan, but like
He's got the little turrets.
yeah, no, but like Heimer support's like a thing right now.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds like fun.
right now it's very
Udyr
much of
ban.
the poke things and have things die meta. Definitely, that's definitely what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish Kyle was here listening, but yeah,
Garrett ban.
Garen ban. So I want to assume that Garen is because one of the players on Wisconsin play Garen.
That's probably why.
That would be
I
the
wouldn't know. I don't know why they would ever want to ban Garen normally.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Like Udyr, that makes sense. Udyr's still a pretty strong champion. For a little bit they had like the funny one-shot lethality Udyr. And now he's just kind of like a general nuisance. He's a good solid tank, a good just solid character to have on your team. Phoenix Stance deals a lot of damage. Yeah, he's got a
Very
good way to
tanky
live.
bruiser.
Yeah, he's very
Very
tanky.
tanky bruiser.
So first off, looking at this draft, Cassante being hovered. I love that face you're giving me because you're like, you know what he does, right?
I do know a little bit.
You know a little
I've
bit
been
about it?
destroyed by a little Cassante before.
About a little Cassante. Yeah, so Cassante, poor man's Rose locking that Cassante. That's very much obviously just a top lane pick. And now we're getting Maokai, which
Maokai support or Maokai top?
you could put Maokai anywhere almost. Right, so that's a good little like flex pick. Especially with the change where his Q deals the percent health damage instead of the saplings.
Easy route, very easy.
Yeah,
route.
easy route. He's just a great, just like in your face kind of character. So honestly, not that bad. Kindred going out, that's obviously the jungle. RBM, a character that he is very much known for. Also, we were talking to them before this, and they're asking Donnie. It's like, hey, do you know Maokai? Do you know Kindred?
Well, looks like they picked exactly what they wanted.
Yeah. All right, little test, Donnie. Do you know Cassante's abilities and what they do?
I know he's got the double slam,
Okay.
and then he like puts his shields together and he like dashes forward.
Okay.
He stuns you, and I know his ult like throws you through walls behind him.
Okay, that's pretty close. So
And there's one other ability in there. I kind of forgot.
his Q works like Yasuo. You gotta hit you gotta hit it like 2 times the need to knock up.
Okay.
His W is like the shields
Shield bash.
the shield stance thing that gives him protections, makes him unstoppable. You push people. Anyway, Zaya Karma picked. That should be the bot lane.
Zaya Karma.
Zaya
That's a very
Karma.
fast and hard to kill comp.
Yeah, dude, Zaya
Very hard to kill.
kind of annoying. Karma. I mean, that could also be a Karma mid, but who knows? It's I don't want to throw it off and say like how like the Overwatch team treats Collegiate and be like, oh, it's Collegiate, but like
Do people like to play with the? Do people one trick things in?
I
Collegiate?
honestly don't know how good Wisconsin is as a team.
We'll see.
So
We'll
like
see.
this could either be like the best team in existence, or where like our guys are trying like 100%, or this could just be like a very small obstacle. Chrono locks in the Sivir, or not Chrono.
Lee Sin ban.
Yeah, so Sivir's locked in obviously for Chrono. Lee Sin, yeah, they don't have a jungler. Who else would you ban? Lee Sin's also just a
I
solid
heard
character.
Hecarim was farming jungle recently.
Ashe.
And a
Ashe
Azir
ban, Ashe is a solid character right now. ADC support, whatever you kind of want her to be. I also just don't know if like some of these characters are just like these people's one tricks. Since that is a strategy whenever you're playing CLOL, is that you just kind of like go to their OP and you just kind of like, who do they play the most? And it's like ban them right away.
Wukong ban. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know about the Wukong ban. I'm gonna be real. I don't know about the Wukong ban. I'm very much leaning towards like they're just banning people's one tricks. I know Wukong's he's a solid character. He's not bad.
Great for team fight. He's good for team fights.
But like,
I think a Northwood has to pick.
I mean,
more
I guess
tanky.
like a Wukong jungle is the idea behind it. Obviously, there's something cooking that our guys know about the other team that we clearly don't.
Let's see what Chrono's cooking right
Like
now.
Mr. Chrono 17 picks.
Okay, Nautilus.
Yeah, Nautilus Sivir.
Good hook.
Oh, look, it's it was almost your favorite character got hovered.
Was Set hovered?
Yes, that was hovered.
Set is my favorite character. Top lane Set player right here.
Man, Shaco, Elise.
I don't know about Elise.
You don't know about Elise? She's not bad. You know, good engage.
She's
you know,
gotta have a good start.
good damage, good poke. There's a lot of things that could definitely go right.
Kindred versus Elise is interesting though, because they both gotta farm a little bit, and whoever's behind is gonna be getting screwed most of the game.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm looking forward to see how this goes because like yeah,
Cassiopeia.
Wisconsin team is like this very just like poke heavy kind of thing, and like Cassante as a character isn't very like. I'm probably gonna get this wrong. At least to me, he doesn't feel like very like engagey. He's a little bit more like
He's a brawl tank. He
no,
feels like.
but he's more like counter punchy in the way he works. Like think about it. His ult drags you through walls, so you almost have to like bait somebody into a fight near walls to get like maximum damage off of it. We're gonna switch back to us because we're gonna have to sit here for like 5 minutes while the spectate catches up. This is
Oh really?
Yeah, this is the thing.
Okay.
This is like legitimately a thing with like casting League of Legends, right? So, yeah, Cassante, Elise, Cassiopeia, Zaya, and Karma for the side of University of Wisconsin, and then for the side of Northwood, we have Maokai, Kindred, Victor, Sivir, and Nautilus. I mean, I could play obvious bias and be like, yeah, Northwood's gonna win this, and I mean, even on paper,
I think myself. I believe in Northwood.
I believe in the in the Northwood boys, right? But even just like looking at their team comp, Northwood could get in. However, they do just have to worry about like that constant poke coming in from Wisconsin. Elise, she has the stun. Cass's entire kit just kind of pokes and whittles you down. She has the point, the Q.
Do you know if
the Qs.
Cassiopeia puddle does that stop Nautilus hook?
No,
Can he hook through that?
does it stop it? Oh, like the grounding part?
Yeah. Does the ground stop that?
I'm pretty sure it usually stops.
Okay. Well, Maokai can just kind of press one button and stun the main carry of Wisconsin. So
Yeah, but like
I think that's gonna be the main strat here.
No, 100%. You're playing off the hooks. You're playing off the Maokai's ult, the Nature's Grasp, going in off of that, or going into like the Twisted Embrace, or the Twisted Advance with the W, going in for that root. Very kind of simple bread and buttery almost. Sivir and Victor, really good champs right now. Good poke to kind of follow that up, and Kindred as it's gonna be 2 tanks and 3 carries on the side of Northwood, and then Wisconsin is just gonna try to poke, whittle you down, try to really stop Northwood's advance from coming in there. Since like once they're on top of you, what do? Zaya can ult, Cass, hopefully she gets the stun off. Hopefully the ultimate goes off. But other than that, it's like what do? You have to like rely on your Cassante to almost set that up for you. Otherwise, you lose the fight. But we got to see. We have a minute left. So while we're sitting here and we could talk about League all day. How was your day, Donovan? How was your morning?
I woke up. Cody messaged me. He's like, "You want to cast League?" Originally, I did not want to do it, but he needed another partner, so I'm here now.
Yeah,
It's been a good day.
You're here. We're getting good money out of this.
Student casters, we have to get paid something.
Yeah, you had a little bit of compensation. Doesn't always hurt. But yeah, minute left. Spectator delay. Hopefully.
It is a long delay. So is there like a 4 or 5 minute delay between players? And
Yeah,
us
no,
watching?
it's a 3-minute delay from what we see, but also the stream is on like a 2-minute delay. So the stream's like 5 minutes behind
Okay.
what actually happens. And yeah, this is just the fun part about leagues. You just gotta kind of like sit here,
Talk about League.
talk about league.
There's a lot to talk about in League, though. You can kind of talk forever.
Oh no, 100%. We're definitely not the right people to be doing it.
I am platinum in League, though, so I'm not too bad. Platinum ranked.
Yeah,
Plat 3 peak.
Plat three peak.
But I'm a top player, so I don't really know much of the game. I just kind of sit in my own lane all game.
Yeah, I mean, I play.
Especially since they took out TP. So I'd like to see what happens in the top lane here.
I play Renata. That's it.
Support player here. Support and the top laner. I think we got most of the lanes covered.
Most of the lanes covered. I mean, I've done casting for League before. At my, it's been a while. Just 'cause like there's so much of like game IQ stuff you have to like keep up with, where it's like, yeah, if you legitimately forget, you're kind of like you're screwed almost. Anyway, here we go. We're finally loaded in to the. Never mind, the
Looks
game.
like there was a pause at the start of the game.
Game's paused.
I'd love to see a good invade here. Just from the Nautilus team. Northwood. I would love to see that.
There
Although
you
there's
go.
a lot of poke that could punish, just in case.
So just looking at this start,
Welcome to Summoners.
Looks
think-
like everyone's
yeah,
kinda
well,
running
well,
everywhere.
well,
I have no clue
Wisconsin-
what's going on.
Okay, Wisconsin's either gonna they're cheesing the top lane. They're gonna 5-man top.
Oh, this is scummy.
ISO is not going to know what's coming.
Minion spawn.
I believe Northwood knows.
I don't think they do. You can see pings in the map.
They know.
They don't
now.
know. ISO spots them out. They're gonna back off. But now, is that gonna leave an opportunity for possible invade, or they're just gonna ward up, back off, and kind of reset? Yeah, that's definitely the move.
Minions have spawned.
RBM on that Kindred, able to start without a leash. Man, I love directed camera. It's like watching a movie almost.
This is very nice. Not having to move around and actually observe yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pressing buttons, right? But yeah, nothing too crazy right at the start of the game. Who would have thought? I was hoping that an invade would happen.
I was hoping to.
Invade-
I always loving a good invade.
Invades are fun. Oh,
Looks like just a slow game though.
that's right. I need
We'll
to
see how Kindred farms up.
I need to press the button. Ah, there we go. I do not remember to keep this up. There we go.
Chrono already taking that poke.
Yep, there we go. I remember to put that up now. The hook goes
Oh.
through. I mean, it shouldn't be a kill. Xayah should be able to slip away off. The heal goes.
Ignite
The
and
heal
heal
goes through.
already.
The ignites are out. Xayah trying their best and collide with the first blood on the enemy Xayah. Flash goes through from Karma. Doesn't quite catch Chrono. And now it's a little support fight going on. And I love directed camera, just kind of throwing stuff around. Nautilus trying his best to get those roots off. Lock her down. The hook goes
it's a
through.
Double kill.
That's good.
Double kill for Chrono. Or no, actually Nautilus got a kill.
Yeah, Nautilus got a kill. Double kill for
Mid
the.
lane. Wait, what's happening in mid lane though?
I don't know. Directed cam doesn't think it's important enough.
Iso getting beaten up in the top lane.
It's a Maokai versus Cassante. It's
He's
just kind
got
of
the
like
heal. He can
it's a tank versus like a bruiser. They're just gonna like sit there, heal, poke at each other.
looks like stuff's happening in the bot
The
lane.
Cassante dashes go through. The Q is built up. Yeah, right now just Northwood not letting Wisconsin breathe, getting the the invades and claiming the kindred marks, going through. The hook goes off on Cass. She should hopefully die. The flash goes through from RBM using the
Almost a double kill, but he
almost a
flashed
double
away.
kill.
Oh, there's
Masterfully
still fighting going on.
weaving those W's and those Q's and E's.
2-for-2 trade.
That was a little silly. That was a silly.
That was very silly.
That was
But
a silly
Zaya got
fight.
a double kill. So bot lane might be coming back.
I don't know. Silly fight. You know, Elise did burn her flash, right? They also, you know, they got Raptors out of it. You know, for those watching who don't know what Kindred, you know, who don't know what Kindred does, her, you know, her passive, you know, her passive ability. You know, the mark of Kindred. It's simply just, you know, you either mark an enemy, and if you kill them, you get, you know, just like permanent damage, or in the case of or you could also do, you know, invade enemy jungle camps and, you know, do the same thing. So I don't know, 2-for-2, decent kill spread on the side of Northwood, but those 2 kills going to Zaya did kind of like bring her back just a little bit from that early first blood.
Bot lane might be interesting.
I mean, a fed Zaya is not fun. You know, but everything's just kind of, you know, slow, chill out. You know, we're still in, like, you know, the early stages of the game. It's more farming based. You know, RBM is going to try his best to kind of be there and be available for ganks, but you know, with the Kindred and like a low level Victor, you're not going to do much. Anyway, Clyde runs straight into the cast, camp that bush. You're getting camped, buddy. The abilities are going through, the body blocks, the hook. And Reppy.
Clyde has been farming them. He's getting
Clyde's
so
the
many
goat.
kills.
You know, great support pickup.
Oh,
For
it looks
Northwood,
like
'cause,
another
he's a
one. And another. Wisconsin. They're getting pummeled in every lane right now. Except
Clyde right now is just a presence on the map.
He's roaming again.
He's going back. He smells blood. You know, I believe, no, there's no ward set up. Cass trying your best to deal with the Nautilus, but
Looks like Northwood's
buddy,
getting the
you got
trade.
nothing. You got 2 amplifying tomes, and that's just a Nautilus. Tanks have some of the, you know, best early game scaling in the game, and as we miss it, Clyde comes walking up because the directed cam is literally throwing. First Drake taken on the board for Northwood.
I think Clyde wants to go in for this kill.
Oh, you could smell it.
Oh, the cast. She should have ran. Oh no, Clyde. Clyde misses his first hook of the game.
That's unfortunate.
That was very unfortunate. Wisconsin though, 3-6. It's not too far behind.
It's you know, it's early stages of the game.
Oh,
A lot of their deaths, you know, here we go, you know, Nature's Wrath going through. And quite frankly, nothing happens. The Cassante all out, I think, takes Reppy kind of like out of that fight, and he's not able to finish it because of the flash. Aizo trying his best to re-engage, but the cast out goes through, stunning Reppy. Reppy is taken down by Camp That Bush, but RBM comes walking down, cleaning up, getting a nice double. Is he going to get the triple?
He wants that Mark II. Oh, no. Cassiopeia.
Clyde's got this.
Clyde comes back in the fight.
Clyde's cleaning up right now.
I think that was an even trade again.
Yeah, just about. I mean,
Even trades in all these teams.
Cass, kind of like what happened with that Zaya, right? Like, Cass got a triple kill. That brought her back in the game. I mean, for the most part, like, and you gotta remember too, Cass doesn't have to build boots because of her passive. So
Well, that
all
is
that
nice.
money could go straight into Rod of, like, just building towards a Rod of Ages.
Chrono might be getting caught on here.
Getting walked down, the ultimate goes through the root.
Oh. Oh, the perfect peel from Clyde.
Never falter.
Man, I love directed camera.
We see a lot of random stuff.
Yeah, I just like seeing the camera jump around. You know, it's pretty chill. Clyde right now, making the moves. Hex Slash goes through. He's running out.
They
Yeah.
do not want to fight this one.
You know, nice little anchors away, gets out of there with the hook, and
Never falter.
Dude, but Clyde's been perfect. Like he, you know, perfectly there to hook, you know, hook the Xayah, hook Higher Prince, and just, you know, stop him from being able to follow up. And, you know, really just using, you know, Nautilus's, you know, crowd control heavy kit just to kind of lock him down and, you know, protect his ADC.
He's 2 kills and 5 assists already.
Yeah, he's just
9 minutes in the game.
good, solid roaming presence. You know, Karma, because she is that enchanter, isn't roaming nearly as much as she should. You know, she's more focused, you know, on keeping her Xayah, you know, playing almost that babysitter role. You know, trying her best to just, you know, empower that Xayah, you know, get her set back up, especially just because, you know, it's an 0-4 Karma. It's not much, you know, not much is going to happen. The 2 tanks right now in the bot lane,
This
just kind of like top lane.
It's
Excuse me.
very weird. They're just punching each other the entire time.
Yeah, it's just 2 tanks. Like, they're going to get to a point where they just heal off each other. And that's going to be awesome.
They both have good sustain.
Yeah, like, I don't know. They do, like, the exact same stuff to each other. They both have knockups. They both have, you know, displacement CC in some way. Like,
Incredibly tanky.
incredibly tanky.
Although I do
However-
like Maokai. I think Maokai's
He's got the heal. He does have the heal.
I prefer his ult a little more than Kasante's ult.
No, yeah, like, you know, the nature's advance is a good, you know, good ability. Or nature's wrath. I don't know why I keep getting that wrong.
There are a lot of abilities in the league.
There is a lot of abilities, and we have to remember 10 of them. So far, I remember 2.
2.
Yeah.
You know, we could just call it the character name ult.
You got Nautilus Death Charge. The hook goes
Like
through.
Nautilus
Death
getting
Charge
another
actually
one.
going off. Speak of the devil. And Camp that bush is locked down.
Clyde looking for another. Oh. The hook into the root.
Yeah, that's just
Double
the, you know.
kill. Is that double kill from RBM?
No, Reppy got it.
Okay.
But just like that right there is kind of what we were talking about. Like, they have so much, like, CC, especially with Victor now kind of getting online.
Oh, Clyde with a dive.
The
They
dive
want
goes through
another
the
kill.
heals, you know, and they can't quite get it. You know, RBM really can't even pop a Kindred ult, you know. Can't pop that Lamb's Respite to keep him alive, but it's fine. The Rift Herald gets dropped. It's going to crash, and, you know,
Does not break bot lane though.
gold for the gold man. Man, I don't know what they were thinking there. That was a decent attempt. Yeah, but kind of back to like what we were going on. Wisconsin team is kind of struggling against that, like, one thing we talked about. Like, Northwood has a very engaged heavy team. It's either Maokai or Nautilus, or Maokai and Nautilus going in, kind of locking people down with that CC, and then just simply from like Victor being there, able to follow up with his own stun. It's a pretty hard time for.
Yeah, any of these squishy champs, if they get hit by any of the stun, they're just dead.
I mean, that's almost entirely, you know, Wisconsin's team.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the lone Cassante, who is just this, like, counter-engaged kind of character. He's a good character, especially if you know how to, like, play him and work him right. But, like,
He can't do enough.
it's hard to get, like, somebody off your team once they're on them.
Especially Maokai with his W.
Yeah,
Like
like,
instantly goes to them. You can't even stop
you know,
them.
and even if, like, Cassante, like, pops the all-out, you know, uses that ultimate, it's honestly more of a death wish. He's going to throw himself into, like, a weird position and, you know, and, like, the trade-off is to try to deal more damage and to maybe finish a kill. He's going to make himself squishy. He's going to have half of his max health. He's going to have less protections. Like, and as we saw in that one engage that poor man's Rose really tried to do, it didn't work out that well. Reppy managed to get away, though narrowly, with the flash. And just the top lane right now, really just kind of duking it out. Clyde trying his best to go fishing, you know, for a nice little snake. Doesn't quite catch anyone. And a lot of the pressure coming from Northwood right now is just on that bot lane.
Turret plating will fall soon.
You know, there's an 0-5 Karma. She's quite frankly, not that powerful right now. She doesn't have the tools and the tools either in her kit or in her loadout to like.
Or really, even the damage at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
5 and 4. Not enough damage.
she
to
just
really
hit.
put
She
people
just
down.
hit 6. I mean, they are supports like everybody's. 6, but she like just hit 6. The Empower is going to get a little bit better, but
Reppy almost
yeah,
made
just
it
kind
to
of
the result.
ultimates are being used right now. The Death Charge goes through and camps the bush. Chrono manages to nearly finish off.
TPs.
Both teleports are going through. All Out goes out on Clyde, but
Instantly blown up.
yeah, he didn't even take it through a wall. I think that's the most unfortunate part. If he was able to use that ultimate, take Clyde through the wall, because Clyde was already at what, like half health?
And they have bounties too. He could have easily gotten a kill.
He could have definitely gotten that kill. Could he have gotten away? Maybe not.
Probably not. I don't think so. No.
Kindred's Q lets her jump over walls. Victor, Victor has that range. Maokai, if he sees him, could W over the wall. Like, it's going to be hard. Try to lock away. Nature's Wrath going through. Zaya trying her best to get a
she's
run
still
away.
good anyways.
But
Into the Victor stun too.
the flash goes out from Iso. Flash W. Zaya, no
lives.
way she gets out.
He lives.
Nice little flash Gale Force for you. That's also kind of like the slipperiness of of Zaya for you. She almost avoided, avoided the Maokai ult with her own ultimate. No, Chrono's got too much damage right now. They're on even level. People like the meme about ADCs right now, but like
He's got Kraken.
he's got Kraken. He's got Kraken. He's got full boost, and he's got a Zeal. Poor man's Rose doesn't have anything, and plus it's
He doesn't even have full boots.
plus he's also fighting an ADC. Sivir's Q has great poke. Same thing with the W. Like he's not going to be able to walk up. Like look at that damage.
Sivir. I love playing Sivir into my ADC. Very fun. Poke with the
Fun
key.
character. Looks like we're going to have a nice little Tower Dive coming through. Death Charge goes out on Tensive, and he narrowly makes it
they
out.
both
Flash is
escaped.
being forced out of Clyde. That was almost bad.
Almost very bad for Northwood. That would have been 2 kills and a 400 gold bounty.
But nobody's dead. That's fine.
And they get the rift.
Yeah, they got their map pressure back, and yeah, no, RBM can now do with that as they will. They could either dump that on the top lane, help push that out, or you could stick it in the middle just to actually no, the mid turret's down. I just saw that. So yeah, I mean they could use it on top. I mean they could use it mid lane or stick it bot lane. Especially with this dragon upcoming, it's going to be, a great way to kind of draw attention. I mean, Herald right now, regardless, is going to be a great way to distract Wisconsin.
At least one person has to go over.
Somebody's going to have to deal with Shelly. Otherwise,
Wisconsin can't really afford to lose a person in a team fight, though. Being a little behind, they need
they,
everybody.
Wisconsin's strategy definitely is just kind of you're going to outrange them. Elise or Cass is going to hit their ultimate.
Never fall.
And then you just kind of dogpile whoever gets stuck. But yep, Cloud Drake going through for Northwood. RBM still holding onto that Herald. Camp that bush by himself. The hooks are going through and narrowly trying his best to avoid. Is he going to get out? No tower dive.
I assume they would too.
I thought they
Especially
would have. They had the tools. The ultimates were available.
Top lane just punching each other.
That's not going to change. Yeah,
Carol on the bot lane.
This top lane matchup's just funny. I don't know. They're just two tanks. Here we go. Here's what I kind of expected. Herald gets popped.
Can go to the
Bottom,
next tower. They might get the
bottom
next
lane
one.
is just gonna slowly get sieged. And at that same time, there's been so much bot pressure coming in just from Northwood's entire team that just the bot jungle for the side of Wisconsin is just almost non-existent.
I have seen the Elise go in Northwood's top jungle to really steal most of the camps. He's really got nothing there. way far behind.
There's
At
a
least 0-4. Not really have done anything in this game.
But it could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
And, you know, I don't want to say, like, at this point, like, Northwood's, like, you know, playing with their food, but, yeah, like, almost a 10K, you know, gold lead. You know, you're at 8K gold. You have 7 kills on the enemy team. You have 3 towers while, you know, the
Almost
enemy
4.
team... Yeah, almost 4. While the enemy team doesn't have 1. You know, things are looking dire for Wisconsin. The hook goes through onto the Karma. Same thing with the death charge. And, man, Unambitious right now is just locked down and ran down as RBM, you know, finishes that kill. Things are now looking topside as, you know, all 5 of the Northwood members are just looking to zone out this Cassante and take this tower. Poor man's Rose really trying his best to, you know, look for that ultimate. Look for that opportunity to go all in and just, like, jump on whoever he gets.
I don't really see a way from Wisconsin to come back here very easily. Maybe the Zaya, but they're a very poke-heavy team, and being behind, they don't have the actual damage to really poke them down.
You're 100% just playing off the Zaya and the Cass. That's all you have. Those are the only people with, like, with actual items. You know, Cass, you know, because she built Bit Tier at the start, she has Archangels.
And full rod.
Yeah.
Full rod of ages.
Or Sheriff's Embrace. You know, like, full Rod of Ages, she's fine. Zaya, you know, she has that Gale Force online. She's slowly working up to another item. You know, I don't want to be, you know, be dumb and say it's like an Essence Reaver. That's what it's looking like. I don't remember the item build pass off the top of my head. But, like, other than that, like, the rest of Wisconsin doesn't have
Looks like Northwood starting the Baron.
many tools.
They're just doing a Baron rush here.
I don't think Wisconsin knows or they can even contest.
Oh, I think they know. They're all closing in.
That the pings were going through, but what are they gonna do?
Baron already taken.
You can't do much. Puck goes through. Poor man Rose. That soul tank
This could be
already
bad
at
for
half health.
Northwood,
The Nature's
potentially.
Wrath comes in from Isle through her teleport. Roots 2 of the team. And oh my god, Cassante barely living. There's just so much stuff going on right now. Zaya ult's being used. Reppy just kind of walking through, you know, with that Victor ultimate.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a quad kill for Northwood right there. And they have the Baron. It's likely coming to an end here.
Oh yeah, this is 100%, you know,
We're near the end. of this one.
game set like for this one.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Or, you know, just Northwood decide, you know, keep playing with their food. I mean, it's a possibility.
They did not have the great minions there for a siege, so they couldn't have done much.
Yeah, but look at this. Dragon looking pretty close to respawn right now. So, I mean, there's going to be another objective. Oh, that's unfortunate.
No. That's one turret. One HP.
That's a 1 HP turret right there. But, like, what exactly do you do at this point? Like, you're so focused on trying to protect your own base that Northwood could just get these these additional objectives just for free. You know, that was pretty dangerous right there for the Karma. I'm surprised she hasn't gotten spotted out by anyone just yet. You know, Isa trying his best to prep the saplings. RBM, you know, working on that dragon. And just the rest of Northwood could just kind of, you know, use that Baron buff and just force Wisconsin to, you know, to turtle up. They can't do much right now.
They gotta wait out Baron and hopefully Northwood makes a mistake if they want to come back. Doesn't look like there's much hope here for them though. 3 Drakes, Baron buff, almost a 15k gold lead.
Yeah, things are looking dire. The big minions are coming through, and here comes, you know, 3 members of Northwood. 4 members of Northwood, actually. Barreling their way through. You know, there goes, you know, the bottom tower. Cassante trying his best with that all out, but, no, you know, it's not going to do much.
bleeding
You make
them out
yourself
here.
more. You know, poor man's Rez is trying his best to like engage and work in these fights, but like he can't do much. Nature's Wrath goes goes out. The root goes through, and just Wisconsin zoned more and more. Hook goes out, and there we go. Reppy with a nice little dog pile onto poor man's Rose. Camp that bush, trying his best. The ultimates are being thrown out from the side of Wisconsin, but just Northwood barreling through just to their pure gold, just golden item lead. Oh, you hate to see it.
Never
That's a huge
falter.
shutdown.
That's a tower. That's a tower kill. Nice little, shut down. 400 gold to the Zaya. That was the quick blades. Finish a couple items.
Looks like Northwood wants to play a little
It's-
longer.
they're
here.
playing. They're playing with their food.
Bleeding them out. Two inhibitors down. They just gotta farm up and camp their base almost at this point.
One more fight. One more fight, and the game's over. One more fight.
One more fight.
Izo and Clyde are even if there's not even minions there, Izo and Clyde are probably tanky enough that they could just sit in the Nexus turrets, and the rest of North will just finish it off. RBM right now getting dogpiled. 3 members of Madison. Oh, Kindred's a slippery
no,
character, but
Northwood made a few mistakes here.
yeah, that's not looking good.
Can Wisconsin capitalize?
Izo trying his best. He goes in with the W.
Oh,
You gotta love
Tense it
saplings. You gotta
down.
love saplings. All out goes out on Reppy. Reppy's so stuck alone. He can't quite do anything, and Higher Prince finishes the kill. Chrono, however, gets a nice little trade on the Cassiopeia.
it's
But
two
now,
tanks
the
beating it down.
Cassante. Once again, the playmaker trying his best.
Being a solo tank, he's trying really hard.
He's trying his best. Cassante, like we've just been mentioning, like he's a good character, but just like that soul, form of just engage. Like you can't do much.
really not
It's
like
hard.
to.
It's hard to start a fight. You almost have to play around the wall. And yeah, there we go. That was game 1. So this is the best of 3 series.
Okay. Next one could be the end.
Yeah, next one could definitely be the end for Madison. And just kind of looking at that game, we'll put the little scoreboard right there at the end. Thank you, Razor Cortex. Thank you for getting in the way. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize how much damage Reppy did.
it's Victor, dude. Victor's got a lot of damage.
That is a lot
Especially
of
with
damage.
like the Maelstrom.
He's
Like,
doing a lot of assists though. I thought other people were getting more kills than him.
no,
usually.
dude. And his job in the dog pile is just you throw out the Q, you throw out the gravity well. They can't do anything. They just kind of just they die.
There's some. I'm not liking the karma numbers here. I'm hoping that Wisconsin will go for a more tanky build. I think that's what they need.
Yeah, no, that is definitely something. They definitely need to like rethink their strategy, because poke in theory is good, but just they had no way to like stop that. As we just keep bringing up, just like that dog pile ability from Northwood. It's like, yeah, you could try your best. You could zone them away. Your Zaya, yeah, she has that Gale Force. She has the ultimate. She's a slippery character. But once that gets burnt, she's caught. Cass, same thing. She has those CC options, but after those are gone, it's like, what do you do? Because Northwood just has more. There's a Maokai and Nautilus.
Yeah, any engage they get,
Like,
you're getting stunned,
Ye-
rooted, knocked up,
a
maybe knocked up again.
least
Not a lot you can
similar
do.
thing. Spider mode. You could disappear for a couple seconds, but
Maokai can W right away.
Maokai could find you, and you're caught.
You
Like,
can't get away.
it was a good idea. It's like, oh, let's be these these pokey, slippery characters. But it's like Northwood just we got too much CC for you. But then also they just have RBM and Sivir. RBM on the Kindred and Chrono on that Sivir. Two pretty fast characters, especially with Sivir's like rally, her ultimate, her rallying cry, and then just Kindred's Q.
I mean, Kindred can even if any of their squishies get caught out, Kindred can save them long enough for Northwood to
You know,
really
Kindred's little, her little like Q jumps.
get away easily.
Fun ability, but like she can also chase you down super easily. Plus, just like the slows built into built into your E, built into that, built into her mark. You have Wolf. Just it's hard to run away. So I want to see how Wisconsin changes the strategy. Yes, I do think maybe have an extra tank there, having something a little bit like better at peeling, because that was definitely a part of their issue too. They didn't have peel. They couldn't get people off of them after their crowd control was baited. It's like, what do?
They did have a hard time. I would love to see a Blitzcrank coming out in the bot lane.
You love Blitzcrank.
I love Blitzcrank.
I don't think we're going to see a Blitzcrank.
I think Blitzcrank is the way. They could easily they could hide around corners, hide through the wall, hook through the wall. Like, how would Northwood even deal with that?
You just jump on the Blitzcrank. You just kill the Blitzcrank. You just have it. You just have like an all-in team that just jumps on whoever
I'm thinking they're gonna ban Nautilus next time though.
I mean, Nautilus wouldn't be a bad ban. Maokai. I
That's a
expect
good
Maokai and Victor, 100%. Maybe we could see Kindred because I know you're not too familiar with the league scene, but RBM's pretty known for like his Kha'Zix and his Kindred, and he was doing pretty good. Honestly, I could just see all 5 of those characters being banned if they really wanted to, but that also just opens up like other character options. Udyr. If like the Kindred gets banned, right? It's like, well, Udyr becomes an option. Udyr becomes an option again.
Udyr would be a good pick.
Udyr would be a fun pick.
I think Udyr would be a little bit better than Cassante for tankiness and damage.
But he's not much of a top lane. I mean, you can play him top lane. Would it be a good top lane? You kind of need Udyr's speed and engage ability, like a little bit more active in that jungle. But top lane Udyr is definitely an option.
Is he more of a jungler right now?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think that would be a better jungler pick than Elise too. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of the Elise, especially you just get far behind. If you get far behind, though, you can't come back at all.
Yeah, she's.
It seems like Northwood loves to invade at the start. They were really.
We'll see what we
invaded.
get, and as we go into this, finally, the picks and bans, the draft is going through. I learned the Northwood's ban strategy. Do they ban those those I'm stumbling over my words here, but do they ban those characters, the characters they did before, like the Garen, the Ashe? Yeah, there goes Garen. So somebody's
a godly Garen on Wisconsin, and they
poor
know
man's Rose
has to be a godly Garen.
Has to be a godly Garen.
That true damage one shot is not fun to play versus. I will say that.
Heimerdinger ban, once again, understandable option. Good solid character, good damage.
Incredibly annoying.
Incredibly annoying, and he's not played in support, right? You just create this bot lane fortress where it becomes so hard to just deal with just the constant spam of the turrets, from the rocket barrage, from even the hex bomb that he throws out.
Another Wukong ban.
Somebody has to be playing Wukong then.
Yeah. Wukong jungle maybe?
There goes Udyr.
Udyr ban though, however.
Standard.
Looks like same bans.
Standard bans. I don't know 100% if we've been spamming, if RBM has been playing a lot of Udyr and scrims or even in solo queue. I don't know, but Udyr is also just a solid character right now.
Yeah, there's some champs you just don't want to play versus sometimes.
I'm going to be quite frankly surprised if the same bans that Wisconsin did are again, and Jax goes out for Northwood, so poor man's Row. That's a target ban. That's a triple target ban. I know Jax did recently get his little.
Is poor man's Rose one of the unforeseen goats of
the unforeseen goat? Who
of
knows?
Wisconsin?
He was
He
definitely
was playing really well.
He was
I
doing
will give him
good.
that.
The stat line didn't quite look like it, but he was trying his best to
He
make
was
trying his best to make things happen for his team.
Oh, Cassante ban from themselves.
That's an understandable pick. Cassante's a strong character, and they can't pick him first. Don't let them play it. smart, understandable ban. You know, smart and understandable ban, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Mr. Izo picks. Ash. Nice little flex pick. Support
Support or ADC.
Support or ADC. Looking forward to see, how that goes. Honestly,
Ash can really stop people from even going
dude,
in
support-
or running away.
support
That's a really
Ash
good
could be
pick.
so oppressive at times. Just a great character. Kind of like zone people out. Nautilus going through. So, hey, maybe they try to take, Northwood strategy. Go a little bit more, all
Same
in.
picks, just
know.
Reverse swaps coming out.
Yeah,
That'd be
like
interesting to see.
you play more to all in, for that engage. Try to really, lock down the targets and just kind of, keep them from moving.
Kaisa,
Yeah.
going back to the tried and true Zaya.
Honestly, Nautilus Kaisa would have been bad. The CC coming out,
Enough time to stack the passive.
no time to, it's easy passive stacks for Kaisa. But, I mean, Zaya, granted, they didn't do that bad on Zaya last game.
Could be good into the Ash though. Can dodge the ult stun if you have to. Dodge some slow.
I think we do need to see what the bot lane ends up becoming, just because it still is a flex pick. But like bot lanes, Wisconsin's bot lane is already revealed, so that Coach Keelix and the boys are cooking up something right now. It's like how can we? Oh my God,
Coach Kyle Tyson.
Coach Kyle Tyson.
The
Yeah,
Braum
Ash and Braum.
pick.
Oh, that's oppressive.
Is Braum oppressive in the Nautilus Zaya?
No, it's Ash Braum.
Oh, Ash Braum.
That stuns in the slows. That's the Freyord bot lane. You're not moving.
Freljord
The
bot lane.
Freljord bot lane. You're not moving.
Interesting Lee Sin pick.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see some carry plays from Lee Sin. I do like Lee Sin more than Elise. I think he's got more. Even if he's behind, he's got some better abilities to help the team.
he's a good solid early game character. Once you get 6, make some plays. Use the insect. Use the insect dragon kick maneuvers.
Zir ban.
Great. Once again, but also it's like playing more. It's like in that engage heavy style. You have the Nautilus. You have the Lee Sin. Let's see how else this draft goes through. Azir's been pretty solid. He's been played recently. You've been played recently in pro. I mean,
I've never
Azir's
seen him in my games though.
he's a
He's a
solid
little too
character
hard.
regardless.
Fiora.
Fiora.
Man, all top lane characters at this point being banned.
Yeah.
Interesting strategy.
I feel bad for poor man's Rose. They're
Hopefully he picks him set. Like, there's not many characters left for him to play.
I bet they ban Set. I'm calling it now. Set's gonna be next ban.
You think so?
I have
Set's got great engage.
I have a feeling.
The Rise ban.
And I mean, there's no mid
I
laner.
also don't see much of Rise either in my Platinum games.
Yeah, I mean, people, you gotta lower Rice's win rate. They make it better. Make him a better character.
I could definitely lower his win
You
rate.
gotta go the
if I
blue
started playing him.
the blue build on Rise.
Camille ban. Another top lane ban. I feel
Man,
very bad for him.
Seraphine would be pretty good here if they did the.
Seraphine is a good character.
like that.
A lot of poke. Insane ultimate.
Man, this guy's
I
just
don't know
hovering.
what he's hovering.
I don't know what he's hovering.
Jin, Corky.
Corky's not
Jin?
bad.
Okay.
Oh wait, I know what they're doing. This is gonna be a Zach. That's a Zach mid or a Zach top.
Zach mid.
Zach's really good right now.
Oh, they got a Cassidon coming out though potentially.
So you remember a couple days ago whenever I played like Zach support, Radiant Virtue Zach, really strong, as we actually did figure out a couple days ago. That's pretty good. Good engage from the character. Hard. Can be pretty hard to kill.
Oriana coming out from Chrono. Zac is also a very fun character to
I,
watch.
I, I don't know what that Zac is going to be. I mean, that could be a mid. And Oriana, is going to have a bit of an easy time. Right? Or you're going to have a bit of an easy, poke him out. But still, it's like,
Oh, back on the Maokai.
well, if that Zac roams top, right? Like, or if that Zac is, gets any help, that's going to be a problem, especially from the Nautilus.
Bless you.
Especially from the Nautilus, right? Like, hook goes through, the elastic slingshot is built up, and he's jumped on, and
Echo?
it's a Zac top. That's still pretty good.
Wait,
Yeah, Zac top.
Echo.
Echo
What's
mid.
the jungle? Who's the jungler?
Lee Sin.
Echo mid.
Yeah, Echo mid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is he normally mid laner?
Yeah.
Really?
Jungler mid, yeah.
Okay.
Both these two are going to be interesting because it's both like similar ideas, right? You stick Northwood still has like that engage kind of way to them, that engage crowd control heavy style, right? Like Oriana, Reppy sticks the ball on Izo W's in, and then here comes the shockwave, sucking the enemy team together, and Clyde, if he really wanted to, could also follow up with his own ultimate. Wisconsin can kind of do the same thing, right?
They have a lot of dive characters right there.
Oh yeah, that too.
Zac, Lee Sin, Echo, all just can go
Right,
right
like-
in while Nautilus protects Zaya.
There's
Could be
multiple
interesting fights.
there's multiple ways that fight could go, right? Like Nautilus, here comes the death charge, right? You get knocked up. Lee Sin comes in, does an insect, kicks you back into the enemy team. Then you just get jumped on by an Echo and a Zaya. What do? Right? Or here comes, Zac flying in over the top. He pops his ult. People are getting, knocked around. What's going on? And, here comes Echo with the W. Walks in.
And has an escape too.
Stun goes off. What do? Right?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. There is a good amount of CC on every single character on Wisconsin's side. And
In this whole game,
that's
there's a
going
lot
to
of
be
CC.
really hard for. This entire game, period.
There's so much CC.
There's
in
one
this game.
character in the game that doesn't have hard
Kindred.
that doesn't have hard CC, and that is Kindred,
And she's a slow. Many slows.
right? So she's completely if RBM, Reppy, or Chrono get jumped, it almost spells disaster, right? There's so many hypothetical situations that could happen just from Wisconsin's team. Zaya could come in, pop the ult, and recall the feathers, and all of a sudden you're rooted and you can't do anything and you just get jumped by someone, right? So I think a key player here for Northwood to try to stop all this CC is probably going to be Chrono. At least that's how I feel about it, right? You're going to be spamming out the enemy team with your W. No, not the W. With the with the volley. And you're that's just your job. You're getting people low, you're marking them, you're slowing them, you're trying your best to keep them away. You have the ult to try to save your team. And yes, you do have the Braum to help with, negating some of that damage. They do have the ultimate to kind of jump on top of it. But if Clyde or Izo, engage at the wrong time or they get caught out,
They can instantly die.
Chrono's the only person that could really save that back line in that situation, right? Maokai, the Maokai W, I don't know why I'm
Underground route.
yeah, the root. I don't know why I was literally saying the name of the root earlier, and all of a sudden I forgot it. It's like it's like twisted advance. There we go.
Twisted advance.
Twisted advance. Right? That ability gets used, but then it's what do? It's not a very big range. Nature's Wrath gets popped. you know, you're most likely going to use that for like an engage of some kind of some way. Like once those, you know, crucial CC abilities get burnt, it's like, what do you do? Yes, Orianna does have the ball shield. Yes, Kindred does have Lamb's Respite to help keep her team alive and maybe, you know, prolong the dive for the tanks to come back and like the real hard CC. Because think about it, Orianna only has Shockwave. That's your only form of ult. Otherwise, you're just kind of throwing a ball around, and
she's not a huge
and
damage
you're
force.
Shielding people.
Ooh, you might want to.
RBM's got nothing, and
Let's see if they can invade.
we're loading in to the game. Takes a second. There we go.
So much stuns in this game. It's gonna be interesting. Whoever gets caught out might just get dogpiled on by either team.
And it's looking, yeah,
Oh,
standard.
they're holding on.
Yeah, standard start so far. I wouldn't expect anything crazy, especially from Northwood, just because like, even at level 1, if they really wanted to, Wisconsin does just have more CC like available to them.
Ooh, Zai even has cleanse.
Yeah, she does not. She
be
does not
dying.
want to get jumped. I'm not surprised. I am quite frankly not surprised. Unambitious taking, you know, an alternate route to what Clyde did. Clyde did Glacial Augment, playing more for those slows, while Unambitious is going for that with that Aftershock, meaning that he's trying, you know, a little bit more focused on like getting that damage off. You know, is one
Staying
thing
in the fight a little
staying
bit.
in the fight a little
Hit
bit
some
longer. Is anyone particularly better? No, you know, because the slows from Glacial Augment are a great thing to have. But also Aftershock does have that little bit of tankiness. But neither of them are like, you know, the more definitive option, and they're not really like that game changing, right?
Yeah, it's not. They're not huge.
Chrono, sadly, I believe he got spotted out by a couple minions. You know, the poke, not nearly as effective.
It's gonna be a slow game. I'm assuming it's gonna start.
Oh, this is going to be a very slow game. Or in fact, we might just see like kills go out like level 3.
I don't think people want to be dying so much. Oh man,
I'm-
already
I'm-
slowed so much.
I'm going to call it now. Whenever Higher Prince gets access to, you know, to recall the feathers, the bot lane is going to try to look for a kill. Because if you could catch up that Ashe, she is not going to go anywhere. You know, you have the hook, you have the root, and then you have Zaya's root too. And right now the top lane's duking it out. Zac right now is such a good. I love Zac. Zac's one of my favorite characters. He doesn't even have the Q yet. He just has the sling, you know, the slingshot, and you know, and just like the cell, not the cell division, the W, right? The little explosion.
I don't know. I'm not a huge Zac.
You're not a
player
Zac guy.
myself.
I love Zac.
I'm not an average Zac man.
You're not the average Zac player. Like right now, just
Oh,
Iso
Iso
cannot
already
live
knows.
this. You know, Maokai might have a lot of healing, but honestly,
Two
Zac has
flashes.
more.
Yeah, Zac and you have to kill him right after. I don't think Maokai can even kill him fast enough. In the blob.
Oh no, he shouldn't. Unless the only way that I could see that like something positive would come out in the top lane, especially this early, would be Poor Man's Rose gets killed under tower. Actually, speaking of the devil, last slingshot goes through.
No.
And just the twist and embrace, locking down that Zac, and
He was playing that so well. He's a little too ambitious.
we caster cursed it.
A little too ambitious.
The only way he could have lost in the early game was a tower dive attempt.
And he did that right away. He was ready. Oh, Northwood. Taking his time already. Oh no, Clyde.
No, Clyde's fine. He's Braum.
Yeah, he can dash to the
He's
wall.
Braum. He's chilling.
There's already 4 people in the bot lane. In the bot jungle.
I do gotta say, just back to that top lane fight, right? That's the one thing that Maokai is like good in.
Yup.
Is like Zac's better in those prolonged fights, but like in like short bursts, Maokai's honestly better, and that's how like that fight went into straight. You know, he had time to kind of rebuild that rebuild the passive heal, and just kind of waited, you know, for Poor Man's Rose to jump in, and that's exactly what he did. He jumped in, delayed the damage with the with the W, and knocked him back with the little treant smash, little Q.
He can win these now that he doesn't have.
Oh,
he doesn't have the
100%.
res.
Doesn't have mitosis. The cell division. Trying his best. Yeah, but everything right now is fairly standard, you know. This is a dangerous game.
I'm hoping first Drake
I
is a
can
huge fight. I'd love to see
That'd be
it.
fun to see.
And once everyone has their ults,
You know,
everyone nearing 6.
Braum also doesn't have that same level of like roam pressure as like Nautilus.
So you want to pull the leaderboard?
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. I don't know why that's not up by default. Yeah, I
Very similar CSs. It's a slow game. To start.
I recently had to reinstall League on this computer. So in fact, like I had to reinstall League maybe like 10 minutes before like we started. So
Different settings.
yeah, not everything's set up right. Hopefully, by the next, you know, League CLOL stream, we'll have, you know, something a little bit more, you know, fleshed out and set up. You know,
Does Maokai build Rod of Ages?
you can.
Is that what he's building? Well, look at his first item. Isn't that the one that builds?
No,
Rod
you
of
could
Ages?
also build into like Abyssal.
Oh, Abyssал's a good item. I Maokai.
The Catalyst of Aeon also builds into Abyssal.
Who wins this fight?
No one.
Nothing. The Grassly and Dying wins the fight. Farm some
The abilities
stacks.
are being used. They're playing around. Nature's Wrath
Oh.
goes through, and the burn from the saplings and the minions. He's so close. Izo, can you get a hit in?
1Q. Nice. Double kill already.
Nice little fight
Oh, bot
going
lane
off in the bot
fight.
lane. Nautilus oppressed by the stuns of Braum.
Oh,
Zaya now locked down, pops the cleanse, trying her best to run away, but RBM does manage to finish off the Nautilus. Clyde trying his best to zone off his team, but here comes Sensitive rolling through. The weakened, you know, support and
Oh,
jungler.
Reppy's back though. Reppy with the peel.
Echo popping that Chrono bait, trying his best to stall out and try to finish off Chrono himself. But
Kill.
the shields right now from Reppy.
Almost a really, really good play for Wisconsin. 3 for 2 though. They came out a little on the back end of that one.
Yeah, 3 for 2. RBM did a kill. Lee Sin, however, he is a good early game character, right?
You got a double kill.
So, you know, maybe you know, maybe he could use what's the objective timers? There we go. Maybe it'll, you know, maybe that helps, you know, turn something around. But
it was
just
a really good game from him. I'm hoping poor man's Bros. He's playing well. He's just a little too ambitious.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Wisconsin gets the first Drake.
yeah, I mean, right now, just like there's not much bot pressure, but RBM should be able to get a Herald in return. You know, equivalent exchange. You know, big objective for a big objective.
Which one do you think's more important, the Herald or the Drake at the start? First one.
It depends on what they get use out of the Herald. You know, if they get a good amount of plates off of a Herald push, or even a tower, because top lane is currently at 3 plates, so it is entirely doable that they could, you know, somehow get a tower off of that Herald. It's entirely based on how it's used, but like Drake. I mean, even like what? It's the Hex Drake. That's cooldown. That's ability haste. That's a pretty good Drake to have. Period.
Attack speed and ability haste pretty good. I like that Drake.
But it's also, you know, it's also the first one, right?
Yeah, it doesn't give too much. It's like 9% maybe.
Doesn't, you know, yeah, doesn't give too much right now. You know, pings are going through Izo. Man, just after like winning those 2 fights, like look, he has the Abyssal Mask. The, you know, poor man's Rose is still stuck on that bomby cinder.
He's
Like,
got a long way to go.
he's got a long way to go. And plus, just with like the Abyssal Mask passive, making it where, you know, we're just crowd control's more effective. The shockwave goes through out on the Echo, and whoa. Not even able to use the chrono break, and yeah, Reppy gets that kill. Elastic slingshot going through, using the pull to try to hook together Iso. But just, you know, Iso does just have that item lead right now. Able to just outlast and outdeal damage more than what Zach is able to heal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on in the top lane. They did a lot of abilities, even in all of Zach, for like 30% damage.
They just kind of like Zach, they just kind of like slap each other.
It's just a slap fight in the top lane.
Well, that's a little slap box, right?
It's like that Russian slapping competition.
Yeah, the Russian slap fights. Yeah, honestly, like I don't think Zach is, you know, that Zach is going to be able to touch Iso at this point. Death Charge goes out on Chrono. Chrono trying his best to use the arrow, but he gets dogpiled right now. Clyde, does he finish a kill? He does finish off unambitious. Reppy trying his best to run away from camp that bush, but the Echo, just a little too oppressive. He does narrowly manage to escape. Iso claims that third plate,
Iso
trying his best to
lot
run
of
away.
damage. He's fine.
He's fine. The slingshot was wasted early from Poor Man's Rose, you know, trying to, you know, secure that tower kill. But it should be coming back up soon, so maybe if Iso, you know, stays for a little bit too long, you know, Poor Man's Rose might be able to get, you know, something
kick
positive
that
out of
bush.
it.
Almost caught out by
That
the
was
Orianna.
almost built disaster. Orianna does a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's 3-0 right now. He's got a lot of gold.
Look at that! Chrono Break goes through, as well as the Shockwave. Both ults have been used by the mid lane, and just, yeah, it's reset. Like, Reppy just deals more damage. And she also just outzones the Echo, right? Like, Echo gets a little too close. Yeah, Echo's great at closing that distance, but Orianna is great at keeping distance. And once again, just kind of like the state of the game is slowly turning into what it was last game. Northwood currently 4 kills up a little under 3K gold. That's more like, yeah, a little under 3K gold right now.
2.5K.
2.5K. Right, it's slowly getting there. Iso doing a great job. That top tower already at 2 plates taken. Bot lane, however, has been just Northwood's bot lane specifically has been, you know, the most under pressure, not really able to kind of deal with the assault. Brahmin Ash is impressive, but you know, they're gonna have a hard time when they get 4-man dogpile. Ash arrow goes out once again, stunning the Nautilus, keeping him under tower. He is under half health. Lee Sin trying his best to finish off Chrono in this tower dive, but nice little assist from Clyde and Iso right there, locking down the Lee Sin.
I'm not liking Wisconsin. I'll admit, they're a little ballsy.
Oh,
They're going with all these tower dives, but
nice little
Chrono walked down lane.
Gale Force finish from Isaiah. Camp that bush, trying his best to go for a nice little hunt. Caught it alone, but he does have that Chrono Pick as a nice little get out of jail free card. Nature's Wrath going through. Northwood trying his best to lock him down, but just still with that Echo ult. Here we go, Chrono Break goes through. He's ran right back into Clyde. The abilities are getting used. He's gonna have to hide in that bottom bush as long as they keep marking him. And Reppy gets the kill. He wasn't going to be able to get out. As long as he kept getting marked, a turret was going to give somebody gold. Rift Herald now spawning.
Northwood also got the
40
Drake
seconds. Yeah, Northwood did get the Drake. Ocean Trick, and now we're in Mountain.
Mountain Soul.
Mountain, you know, Mountain Drake is really good. Just the protections. That's
Yeah,
also going to
good
help
for these dives.
That's also going to help with that problem with Northwood's like weak backline almost, right? They have no way to get people off them, but if they could just live longer because you have more protections,
Kindred and Ash.
they're going to be fine.
Oh, that's a good play.
Dragon, you know, the nice little kit comes out from Tensive, and yeah, Chrono once again. Man, Tensive just has like Chrono's number right now.
I could see Wisconsin coming back through Tensive right now.
However,
just no tower dives, guys.
Just no tower dives. However, there is just one issue with Lee Sin, right? He's an early game character. Once people kind of get their items online, right? Like
Yeah, he's got a little.
that
less
whole,
value.
you know, like flash kick is literally what he becomes in the late game.
Flash kick the ADC and that's it.
Like, that's messed up. Death charge going out on RBM. Northwood currently getting dogpiled. Clyde trying his best to mitigate all the damage. Shockwave goes out from Reppy. RBM now forced to use Lamb's Respite, trying to fight out the Zac, but he has a revive of his own. Tensive now coming in, finishing off RBM. Reppy does manage to finish off
Reppy,
on Ambition. But now, Izo trying his best to exert pressure onto that bot lane. Camp that bush, barely makes it out alive, as well as just the rest of Wisconsin. Tensive smells Reppy. Can he get it? He
No, he
whiffs the
doesn't.
Q.
man, I don't know if you noticed too in that one fight, the Ash arrow went right between like 3 or 4 different people.
Nature's
All the way
Rat
from spawn. That would've
popped
changed the
out.
fight.
Here comes Zai ult. The root still goes through, and here we go. The Maokai show. Oh, so close for Izo. Maokai's damage is just funny.
It's all in one burst. That's it.
You just kind of like hit. If you get hit with his ult, you're going to get the entire kit dumped on you. Plus, I also think he's a little bit more fun too, just because. Oh, Chrono,
Oh, he's.
the
I
slow
think
goes
he's
out.
dead.
Nice. That's really good. Yeah, that's gonna bring Chrono back just a little bit. Elastic Slingshot comes out from Zac, but doesn't quite find anyone. And top tower
Is Izo dead here?
slowly being knocked. Izo being
I think Izo
dogpiled now,
dies.
100%. The dogpile comes out.
Oh yeah.
Here comes the Dragon Kick, and Unambitious slowly just being that big, bulky Nautilus, using the CC in his kit. Izo trying his best,
Oh,
has to
wow.
flash out to avoid the Q.
Wow. That is a tanky character right there.
You gotta love it. You gotta love Maokai.
That would have been a great kill for them too, for Wisconsin.
So like back to like Maokai, right? Like I think he's more fun to play because whenever they change like the percent health damage from the Q to the E, like Sapling Maokai was the most obnoxious thing ever.
Yeah, it really was. Walk into a bush, instantly taking 20%, 30% of your
You
HP.
lose half your health and you're just like, what do you do? What do you do? You know? I find the change a lot more fun.
It definitely is.
You know,
I
like-
like his Q ability. It is a fun ability. to
It's a
use.
fun, satisfying ability, and like it feels like it should chunk, and now it does chunk. You know,
Saplings are good vision and they're good slow. I definitely don't think they should be doing a
half your
third
health,
of your HP.
Yeah, third of
half
your
your
H-
HP.
half your HP.
Especially with burns.
So, game's looking a lot more even than it was before. Echo trying his best to finish off that tower. He manages to get it,
Look at
but
that run,
Izo
though.
just being a big, beefy tree man,
He's got
able to run down, camp that bush. Chronobrick is now forced out, and just with the help of, Echo's general slipperiness and slows, might be able to get out. Unless, Izo doesn't quite find him. The Elastic Slingshot misses.
it.
And now the TP coming out from Izo
Big
into this
TP
bot lane. They're
happening.
looking for a nice little fight. Tensive trying his best to jump on RBM. Can't quite catch anyone. Has to avoid and get out. With that Nature's Grasp now being popped. Northwood really trying their best to just kind of like CC and dogpile Madison, but they can't quite find anyone. Tensive still lying out on those outer edges around that back line. Throwing out, poking with his Q. Just trying to find...
I think Northwood gets the Drake off that fight.
Oh,
No
100%.
kills, but they're low enough that they can easily get the Drake.
They won this fight purely off of pressure, right? Tensive couldn't secure the kill,
Man, Izo is in between 5.
and that lets Northwood, kind of finish things up. Oh, if the Q connects, I think that was definitely a kill in the Lee Sin right there. Izo, however,
He's hunted.
he's hungry.
He's hunted.
He's hungry for that blind monk. Rift Herald,
Oh, he's chasing him down still.
now pop forced. Izo, man, trying his best. Saplings are being thrown to the tri bushes.
Oh, it hit.
The slow goes
It's
through.
over.
Here comes the root. Chrono!
Chrono, he's not been hitting the three-pointers
That's
this game.
that's unfortunate. Tensive does run to Clyde, and Chrono does manage to find and finish the kill. Man, Chrono's been doing a great, like, Chrono's been doing a great job.
He has.
Anyway, Nature's Wrath goes,
Really good slows
goes
there.
out. Unambitious, getting dogpiled just from the pure damage up from the side of Northwood. Reppy finishing off the Nautilus. Iso now hungry for more, trying to look to start another fight. Can he find that Echo?
That's a scary sight. A Maokai you can't really kill, just chasing you down the whole game. They can't even kill this guy at all.
Yeah, 2-0-4. Iso right now is just a big, beefy machine, and his only threat is no one.
I don't even think. Yeah, maybe Zaya eventually, but
I don't think Zaya will.
that's the only one who can chunk him down though. Like,
Yeah,
you
that
can't
is
burst
true.
down a Maokai.
That is true. Zaya does have the burst to counteract the Maokai's burst, living. Burst survivability. There we go. That's the word.
I just don't think Lee Sin or Echo has. They don't have enough sustained damage to kill him.
Yeah,
Zaya can.
it's a big bursty team. I mean, like, that's your job, is to just jump in, dogpile, and, you know, burst down the squishies. Right? Oh, Northwood now starting Baron. Unambitious. They do get the ward down. They do have an idea that Baron is being worked on. And here comes Tensive. Clyde trying his best to kind of zone out the jungler. The Ash arrow misses the Lee Sin, but it hits Zac, so that's okay. Tensive tries to goes in, trying to make a play, but he gets finished off by RBM. Nature's Wrath being popped.
Oh, they hit him.
RBM now slowly with that, nice little Kindred's advance, walking up. Ultimates are now being used. Kindred trying his best to just sustain and live this fight. Chrono finishing off the Zac. Everything's looking great. Everything's coming up Northwood. Repi gets a nice little two-piece.
Blue team double kill.
And a lone Zaya. Left alone, not able to get any kills. Also
Not
on like
dying, though.
50 HP right now.
His second item, Navori quick blade, the move,
Yeah, yes.
is it?
So, you know, Zaya's a big, like, a lot of her burst comes through her abilities. You want that, you know, especially your E. You want your E burst to, like, almost always be an option in fights. Right? So, you build it. It's a little bit like Lucian almost, where, like, you want to be, like, weaving your abilities in Zaya's, like, combos as much as possible. Because the more feathers you have down as Zaya, the more burst damage you get with the recall.
Oh man, Oriana with 700 gold bounty. There's one bad
8
team
and
fight
3.
for Northwood.
Leandry. Look at his stuff.
That is a lot. That's 3 full items almost.
Matt, you know,
10 stack Magi's.
Yeah, 10 stack Magi's, you know, Seraph's Embrace, Leandry's.
Even with the stopwatch, no, you're not killing Oriana this fight.
RBM now also has the Kraken Slayer and the Wit's End. He shouldn't be doing a lot of on-hit damage. You know, his main job is to try to kill the Zac and kill the Nautilus. Right? You know, you're going to soften him up and hopefully either get the kill or like a Repi or Chrono will be able to finish him off. Right? And just Northwood now just kind of sieging off of the pressure they've created from, you know, killing the Baron, getting those turrets, getting that, invading the jungle. Right? Like, they're now knocking on a Wisconsin's door. Our nice little, you know, neighbors from a whole lake away.
Taking the boat over there.
Yeah, they're taking a little boat ride. Elastic Slingshot comes in. Zac trying his best to do
Doesn't have the
anything
res,
right
though.
now, but he's just locked down. Iso coming in. The Nature's Wrath, and here it goes. Everything coming up Northwood. Repi and Chrono, RBM and Chrono, excuse me. You know, really doing what ADCs do. Now that they have some items, both have Kraken tanks. You're not living.
I think
You're not
game's
living.
over right now.
Oh,
Baron-
game is 100%
Baron
over.
buff.
Destroyed.
That was just a team wipe.
Ace.
We can see them leaving the Discord. The game is over.
Game potentially over.
Red team's turret
Game potentially over. The game is over. There are Nexus.
I thought this game would start so well for Wisconsin, but
It was looking so good at the start
it
right
was
there.
looking great for them. Lisa was doing well. Just some
It
very
was
interesting
looking-
plays happened.
So good, and I was looking forward.
2 to 3 too many tower dives from very early on, maybe.
A couple. I mean, a couple of them. Thank you, Razor Cortex. A couple of them, yes. Very good. Tensive. Honestly, you know, first game was a lot of, you know, poor poor man's Rose trying his best, starting fights, getting things going on that Cassante. But this game was definitely like the tensive higher Prince show.
Mm-hmm.
Tensive jumps on somebody on the back line, and higher Prince will either be there to finish the kill or just burst down the tanks. However, just kind of from the obvious, stat lines, it wasn't that effective. Poor man's Rose trying his best on the Zek to go in and start those fights, get things going, but just whenever he would go in, there's just the amount of CC and damage that Northwood was just able to throw out, especially like once the Krakens got built.
Mm-hmm. I would have loved to see another consistent damage carry instead of like an Echo. I don't think the Echo was a great pick here.
I mean, in theory, like how the start of the game went, and it made sense. I know I've been throwing out the word dog pile, but like that's literally what both of these, how Northwood played the first game and how this team was like trying to play the second game. You just kind of find someone, one ability goes out, and you go, that's our target, go. And
3 or
then
4 abilities now.
Yeah, then everyone just jumps them, and you just take them out of the game, right? That's supposed to be Echo's job, but Reppy did a great job, on that Orianna, just kind of zoning, poking him out, and also just all of Northwood in general doing a great job of like finding ways to force out that ultimate so he doesn't have that get out of jail free card. No chrono break means a free kill, especially where they're like forcing him to use it. Is a lot of situations where he's coming back into just Northwood's entire team, and like, what is he gonna do? He doesn't have the damage to just burst the squishy with the ability, so whenever he's TP's back, he's just blown up instantly. That aside, I would have definitely liked to see just that game either go longer or a third one, just because there's signs of hope.
There's some glimmers of hope for
glimmers of
Wisconsin.
hope.
But Northwood just so insanely good. Coach Kyle Tyson.
Kyle Tyson.
I saw him in the back room. He was just leading the troops.
You saw him in the locker
rallying
room.
the
Giving the pregame speech. He had his clipboard ready. Right. He's like, "All right, guys. Here's the strategy. We're doing this," and it's just just a big thing, a big just one step win, and it's just circled multiple times. Right. They obviously know what they're doing. This team does basically the contenders equivalent of for league. So, I mean, the Northwood guys play tier 2 together, right? They're a very confident team. Currently, actually, in the NACL qualifiers, they are, predicted at like seeded for 13th. However, I do think that just from some of the info that I have been hearing from Mr. Coach Keelix, that they could definitely surpass that. I can see like a top 8, easy like top 8 finish for for the boys. But now that the game's over, we've wrapped things up. We are sadly going to take things to a close. So once again, thank you for everybody for showing up to watch the stream. Hopefully next week we'll have something a little bit more professionally done and set up better, since this was a little bit set up last minute. So thank you all for coming. I'm TubeStock. This is Kamen. Everyone have a good day.